Hi everybody, today we will be taking a look at Graham Nash's solo album This Path Tonight, which was released in 2016 on April 16th of that year, to be exact, um, by Blue Records, which I believe is an independent label. Um, Now, the instrumentation on the record is very sparse. It is, and it is primarily acoustic, and some of the band, the band for this record includes Shane Fontaine, who also was Graham's primary songwriting collaborative partner on the record. The story behind, and the band also included longtime CSN and Stephen Stills keyboard player Todd Caldwell on keyboards. Um, the story behind the recording of This Past Night is that as soon as the CSN tour of 2015 was complete, Shane and Graham, who Shane had been also in CSN's backup band for years, for a couple of years. Anyway, Shane and Graham, who were sharing a bus, wrote about 20 songs, and then as soon as over the course of the tour, and then as soon as the tour was over, they went into the studio and recorded those 20 songs. Uh, uh, 11 of which were released on This Path Tonight. Um, and there is a second edition of This Path Tonight with three additional bonus tracks on it, which we will get to one of those bonus tracks in a few minutes. But my favorite, a couple of my favorite songs are on the record are Target, which is probably my all-time favorite song on the record, Myself at Last, and Golden Days, which kind of uh, looks in Golden Days. Graham uh, looks back at his life from uh, the from the days when he was just starting out in music to the present day, which was 2015 in this case. And um, there had been uh, and I'm sorry to say there had been some turmoil within CSN and CSNY over the years, so I think uh, Graham's song, Graham's some of Graham's songwriting on this record kind of reflects that. And and another one of my favorites from the record is a song that I first heard Graham do this live, uh, both when I saw him on the Kansas City date of the This Path Tonight tour and on the DVD, which we will get to in a second. This is a song called Watch Out for the Wind, and unfortunately, my copy of the record does not have Watch Out for the Wind on it, because I just got the standard version with the DVD, and it didn't have the bonus tracks. And but I was able to find the bonus track version on Spotify, so I used to have it on my Spotify list. Actually, I don't know if it's there anymore, but anyway, that's beside the point. But if you're lucky enough to get the bonus track version, you will be knocked out by Watch Out for the Wind. And it is certainly one of my favorite songs from the record. Another one that I immediately gravitated to is Target. And I think Target is another one of Graham's masterful love songs, because it talks about, it talks about, I think, his new relationship with his now wife, Amy Grantham, then girlfriend. And let's get to the DVD. Now, this DVD, like I said, was taken from the St. Louis date of the This Path Night tour, which I think was either right before we saw, or I saw them, or I saw him in person, or right after. Now, the DVD, the show is filled with Graham rarities. Among them, the show is filled with rarities. Among them, Bus Stop, and my favorite Holly song of all time, King Midas in Reverse. As a matter of fact, when Graham and Shane did it here in Kansas City, I screamed when I heard the first chords of King Midas, because I was hoping he'd do that song. That is like my all-time favorite Holly song. I wish I would have remembered to tell him that when I met him, but I didn't. But anyway, and it is all, Graham also does a couple songs from him and David's dual album, Whistling Down the Wire, Taken on All, which I hadn't seen Graham do solo. The last time I had seen Graham do that is on the 1991 CSN acoustic concert DVD, when him and David and Steven did it. But another song that, like I said, that Graham does from Whistling Down the Wire is Margarita, which I had always wanted to see him do that live, either with David or solo. And and of course he does he does some songs from This Path Tonight as well. Now he does not have a band. It's just him and Shane um, solo. Um, Now, as part of, in the, as a special feature on the DVD, there is an interview with Graham and Shane talking about the making of This Path Tonight. And, um, and shortly, a couple years prior to this, Graham had a couple years prior to the release of This Path Tonight and the tour, Graham had released his autobiography, Wild Tales, and so he tells a lot of the stories behind the songs that a lot of the he tells a lot of the stories from the book um, on uh, on this DVD and throughout the tour. As a matter of fact, I think the tour was billed as an evening of songs and stories with Graham Nash. Um, another surprise for me was that Graham and Shane, the only song that Graham and Shane did that wasn't a Graham Nash or Graham Nash related song is they covered on the DVD and on and in the show that I saw was the Beatles song Blackbird, which Graham and David or Graham and Stephen or Graham had been singing it for years. Actually, it was CSN's. It was the song that CSN auditioned with to in hopes of getting signed to Apple Records, the Beatles label, but they were turned down. So Atlantic grabbed them up, but that's neither here nor there. Um, so in all, so overall, I give This Path Tonight and the bonus concert DVD about 20 stars, and you will not be disappointed if you're a Graham Nash fan. Enjoy the record and DVD.